Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Show, and it feels almost like we can relax after a crazy week of Championship football. It was game week 45. We thought it would be dramatic, and God, wasn't it just? Let yourself be known if you are in the chat. Give us a comment, give us a thumbs up, and also just give me a heads up that everything is looking okay. Did have some quality issues with a video I did earlier about Jude Bellingham. So do check that out and just let me know you can see and hear everything okay. We are, as ever, on our game week review, going to go through all 12 of this weekend's Championship fixtures. It feels like forever ago that Friday night was happening and West Brom were choking at Huddersfield and Leeds were then being promoted. Obviously, some interesting news out of Huddersfield since. And the weekend has just been crazy, and the late goals in the relegation battles in favour of Barnsley, in favour of Luton, and in favour of Charlton have been absolutely incredible. As Anthony says, game week 45 is going to take some beating. It was absolutely mental, wasn't it? Jake says, game week 45 was definitely my favourite. So what we will try and do is we'll go through game by game, goal by goal, even. Get your comments in on the game we're doing. We can do some Q&A at the end. As ever, before we start, you can support the channel by using Super Chat. Hit that dollar button next to where you're chatting. You can subscribe on Patreon. New one today. We're up to 30 subscribers on Patreon, which is incredible. If not, you can just comment in the chat, subscribe, hit the thumbs up. That all helps. And as you probably all know, we've gone over 10,000 subscribers for the channel. Absolutely incredible weekend of football, incredible weekend on YouTube for me as well. Brilliant stuff. Shall we get into it? Let's remove all of the paraphernalia and we will go for the games. It will be one by one. Let me go through your game week 45 results first of all. And on Friday, Huddersfield 2, West Brom 1, Stoke 1, Brentford 0 on Saturday. Those two results made Leeds champions before they even kicked the ball. Charlton 2, Wigan 2, incredibly big game at the bottom. We'll get to that. Fulham 5, Sheffield Wednesday 3. Fulham could still make automatic. Swansea 1, Bristol City 0. Swansea still just in the playoff picture. Bristol City not. Blackburn 4, Reading 3 is an on-the-beach special, isn't it? 7 goals there between two teams. They're pretty much both done. Hull 0, Luton 1. Gargantuan, massive, huge, gigantic, ginormous result for Luton. Big result as well. Cardiff winning 3-1 at Borough. They are well in possession of that playoff spot. Now, Preston 2, Birmingham 2. Well, Preston... I'd have to check the table. I think they're done, aren't they? QPR 4, Millwall 3. Well, it was an on the beach for QPR, but not for Millwall. That's played them out of playoff contention. Derby 1, Leeds 3. The champions move on to 90 points. And Barnsley would have been relegated at 92 minutes, but they're well in it at 93 minutes. Another huge late goal in that one. Jay says, yeah, someone did have 4-4 for Blackburn, didn't they? Matt says, disgraceful from Forest on Sunday. Reckon we are safe in the playoffs. We will get on to Forest, who are not in good form at the moment, are they? Someone who is in good form is Leeds United. There they were with their 7 changes. Off to Derby, who played pretty much a first team. And it was 3-1 to Leeds, as I say. Derby well and truly on the beach. I think Leeds on the lash, certainly since Friday night, and that exacerbated by Brentford's result on Saturday. Lots of questions. We got asked many times, would there be a guard of honour? Derby doing the right thing and giving Leeds the guard of honour. I'm sure Charlton will do the same on Wednesday. Derby taking the lead here from Chris Martin. Luke Ayling getting in the way a little bit there. If you're going to get in the way, block the ball. He just deflects it. Kiko's trying to look round him to dive to his right, and it makes its way through into the corner. Party pooper? No, not really. Here comes Pablo. There he is, 19 on the edge of the box there. Nice assist from Curtis Davis, well and truly on the beach there. And, of course, good players make good shapes. Hernandez strokes that one beautifully into the corner, as you would imagine. Lovely moment there. Jamie Shackleton, one of the young players getting a go. I've seen him a few times. Looks like a good player. And he gets his first goal there off of Tyler Roberts' assist. Matt Clark, well and truly on the beach there. What is he doing? Alioski crosses that one in from the left. Is he going to swivel and hit it? Is he going to clear it with his right? No, he's going to do neither. And he's going to Bruce Lee karate kung fu kick that into his own goal. Not the most auspicious ending there for Derby, but great stuff for Leeds. And they got their title celebration. Okay, the staff are up in the hospitality boxes there. But some kind of celebration, I'm sure, at some point when we get back to the real world, that the Leeds fans will get to share in that. Let's have a look at your comments on Leeds. Q says, I've been hammered since Friday. Lovely stuff. Danny says, this is not the Leeds way. No heart attacks, indeed. Jalami says, hi, Ben. Leeds are falling apart again. Watching KP singing at Elland Road, El Loco, happy birthday. There we go. Matt says, Derby's XG, so they weren't that bad, or am I chatting? I don't know. What was Derby's XG? Given in mind a couple of the goals they conceded, no, Derby's XG says that they weren't very good at all. 0.83, they did well to get a goal out of that, didn't they? And obviously kicking an own goal in your own net doesn't even add on to the XG because it's not even a shot by the other team. So as usual, XG, very helpful there. Matt, so Leeds up, all done. Just a Charlton game to go. Derby setting up for next season. But remember, it was Friday night that was almost, well, we thought, the disaster for West Brom. West Brom choking on their cornflakes completely there at Huddersfield. But as we now know, they're going to get a second chance this midweek in the final game. Poor from Sam Johnson in goal there. He probably could have caught that, kind of flips up off his foot back to Chris Willock, isn't it? Who athletically puts that in quite nicely. At 1-0 there, look, on the 6-yard line, that is Richard Stearman and Grady Diangana. Don't know how you guys feel about that. Maybe Diangana's done him there and stopped in front of him, so he has to put his hands out and then gone down. Who knows? No penalty. But more controversially, minutes later, that is Matches Pereira, right at the bottom of your picture there, furthest over, top of your picture even, in fact, is Dara O'Shea. He's offside. And when the ball bounces back to him, he heads it in. So, I don't know, a goal between maybe getting a penalty and then scoring an offside one. Who knows? Didn't matter, because here is Emil Smith-Rowe. A nice job by the Cowleys, leaving him and Carl Grant on the bench, still in the game, and he comes on and gets the winner. As I said, we thought that was curtains for West Brom, but, well, wait till the next game. Indeed, Matthew says West Brom are bottling it, Brentford are bottling it, Fulham for auto promotion. I can't have that Brentford are bottling it. If someone doesn't get second, that doesn't necessarily mean they've bottled it. I think bottling it in my head is you have 2 or 3 chances and you should make it, and you're already there and you give it away. Whereas Brentford have won 8 on the trot. But there we go. Mike says the West Brom fan TV lads must be on Valium after this weekend in DDO. And the big news then was Danny Cowley did not last till the end of the weekend. Once they were officially safe, off he goes. And as Garcelle says, Carlos Calderon, who is being linked very heavily, who I was told might even be the next Leeds manager when Bielsa, at whatever point, decides he's done. But Huddersfield not wanting any applicants, so presumably they've got their men. Watch that space. Craig says This should be the kick up the backside that West Brom need. Was that a misspelling, Q? I know. Coberon. You know me and my Spanish. I assume he's Spanish speaking if he works for Bielsa. I probably got that wrong as well. So West Brom have another chance because Brentford, and I'm not going to say they bottled it because they've been amazing, but and they've never actually got to second place. But they didn't take their chance, that's for sure. They fluffed their lines, whatever you want to say. Lee Gregory with the only goal in this one. They looked very flat, Brentford, didn't they? Having been so good. Klukas, who you can see on the edge of the box there, shoots that. Raya, it doesn't really spill it. There's not much else he can do. It's good movement from Gregory in the end. And he sticks it in for Stoke to get that victory. And by God, Brentford had the chance and they blew it on that day. And we have a super chat, which means with the Sierra Grande Chilean Pinot Noir tonight, I can take a drink. Thank you. Brentford feed Barnsley. Watch along, make it so. It's going to happen. That is the plan on Wednesday. Tommy Elphick in as caretaker. Yes, indeed. Baggies Forever is in here. If we don't win, we don't deserve to go up, but I feel Bilic will give them the kick up the behind they need. Absolutely. Luke says, as soon as Brentford knew it was in their hands, the inexperience showed. Stoke were very clinical with that XG. Yes, they were, Matthew, weren't they? The base of a good squad, O'Neill needs his own players. I do agree with you. Jeff says Brentford only needed a draw. Sadly, that is true. And the irony that Brentford fans will be cheering on QPR is not lost on us. Indeed. Moving on. Great input in the chat. As ever, hit the like button if you are in here. So Fulham are actually right up the top of the form table now. They've been winning very nicely after they came back and lost to Brentford and Leeds, lost those vital games. That did for them in the end, didn't it? But look at this one for a on-the-beach job from Sheffield Wednesday. 5-3. That's a proper end-of-season score there. And I think Naskins Cabano might have played his way into the team here. Although the Wednesday keeper, I assume it was Wildsmith, didn't seem to save anything in this game. That one's going to slip in the corner. Mitrovic here doesn't look favourite from that angle, but hits it nicely past keeper's legs there and into the corner. He's back on the score sheet. And look, that's the sign of a good strike. You can fall over when you're taking a penalty and it still goes in straight down the middle. Get your comments in on this game. Big Mayhew is having a good finish, a good finish to the season, that is. If you're keeping up, that's him sticking the penalty, and it's 3-1 now. This is a great goal. Think about your goal of the weekend, by the way. Cabano, with one of those beautiful free kicks, they're all expecting Knockout to curl it over the wall, and they still jump, and Cabano sticks it under the wall. Great goal there. Here is, let me get this right, Jacob Murphy. He's number 14 there on the edge of the box. That shot has taken a big deflection, I think, of Harry Arter, who's on the floor, gone in the corner. 4-2. Are you keeping up? 4-3, however. There's big Mayhew, bit blurred there, but he's going to bang the header into the corner. I'm sure Mayhew's been leaving Sheffield Wednesday about 10 times, but still there, still scoring. And there is Bobby Reid. And yes, Wildsmith will be disappointed with that one because that's firing in the corner. I think Barry Bannon's reaction to these long-range shots, keeping going in, tells a lot. Mitro is on fire. Most of the time in the Championship, he is, isn't he? How did Wednesday have a better XG than Fulham and lose? Matthew, if you want, Matthew, I will give you a seminar on XG and how it doesn't tell you everything. Yes, it can't predict a winner or a loser. As yet in football, we're yet to find something that will predict the winner or a loser because that will literally end football, won't it? But imagine learning from the master for 2 years. Carlos could do a job at Huddersfield. I just feel with these guys who go from assistant manager to manager, it's such a hard jump. I know if you've got aspirations, and I suppose Arteta is doing it. For Arsenal, isn't he? It's just feels like hiding to nothing sometimes. Stephen says, Ben, I called this last week. We would get a guard of honour at Derby. I cannot wait to see what we do in the transfer market. Oh no, Matt's called my bluff and said, right, we'll do a seminar. Actually, shall I just do a video, Matt? Why XG is brilliant and why everybody should use it if they want to, obviously, because it's their choice. Freedom of choice. That game should have been done at 3-0, the Championship. There we go. Johnny J is here again. I'm going to drink to a $14.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. Yes, the alum show is confirmed for next season. What we're trying to figure out, and as always, I will ask for your feedback, guys, is I can't wait for Leeds to sign Buendia for your under-23 squad. I think he might make the first team just about. Great player, Buendia. Really quickly, so the alum show, I kind of want to include Sheffield United in it because we did have them last year. So it'll be Sheffield United, Leeds, and the other two that go up. Someone was actually asking for the League One squad as the three that go down as well, but we will see. You do a great job on reading everyone's comments. I try my best. Michael asks, will I be doing a Team of the Year video? Shall we? I'm going to put this up really quickly because I've started my notes. Here they go. Right. And I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. So look out for that. But I get very vexed with the comments on 11 videos. But there we go. Right. Moving on. What a late goal that is for Barnsley. My God. Patrick Schmidt there. 93 minutes. Oh, my God. And they would have been relegated if I hadn't scored it. Forest not in good nick. They're clinging on to the playoffs. That is Luke Thomas. You can't see that very well. He's hitting the crossbar. Look at the bar, and you will see the ball very agonisingly not going in. That is Connor McGee in the second half hitting the post. Didn't look like it was going to be their day, but there is Schmidt. He's going to kind of bundle it in past. Hang on, that's not Priest Sambering goal, is it? Don't know who the Forest keeper is there. And there, I don't know if you'll get in trouble for that, is Gerhard Struber and the Barnsley bench. They're doing a pitch invasion. So amazing result for Barnsley. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. And they are still in it. That was an XG that tells the story. Yeah, it tells us Barnsley should have won that game easily, shouldn't it? Here's Eli. He says, would love that if you did the relegated teams as well. There we go. The dearly departed show. Indeed. Q Loyner, Team of the Year would just be every Leeds player. Now think about that logically. Think about that logically. Who is the star Superman at Leeds? Because he's not on the pitch, is he? And that would be an interesting one because I think there'll be quite a few Team of the Season teams with not many Leeds players in because it's all about the system. I don't want to give away who's going to be in mine, but I think there'll be 2 or 3 in some people's teams. But remember, Leeds is not about individuals, is it? Some teams are about individuals, but yes. So we'll see. New level of respect for Barnsley after we played them. This rate, Forest will much fancy Forest will fall in the playoffs. God, I had Forest as my playoff winner, so that could. Do you know I haven't done my manager of the season. Well, it depends what system I play, doesn't it, for Bielsa to be the manager? But there we go. Right, let's move on. So Barnsley, great news. Forest, not so great news. Cardiff, really good win for them. That was an important one, wasn't it? And they basically, I think, need a point now to confirm playoffs at the weekend. And a 3-1 and a good weekend for the Murphy twins. This is Josh. Right, Josh. We've done Jacob. We're doing Josh in this game. There is the Master Championship centre-back, the Warnock protege, Sean Morrison, heading in for 1-0 there. And here is Josh Murphy there, streaking clear from Lee Tomlin through ball. He's had a damn good end of the season, Lee Tomlin. Actually, he's been very good since Harris was there. That is 2-0. And there you go, 3-0. Murphy again. Look at this for a free kick by Britt Assombalonga. I think we can all tell where that one's going, can't we? He's going to go over the wall. And I think most keepers say if you can stick it in that hole and I can't get there, sorry, poor turn of phrase there, then you deserve your goal. And he does just that. Jordan Smithing goal, was it? Okay. Thank you, Mr. E. Perhaps you could do a video where you rate managers from this season relative to their expectations. I did that at the start of the season. Maybe I should review it. Did Bielsa get manager of the month? No, not last month. That was Thomas Frank. And Paul Cook should have got it, really. But I think they lost one game and just Brentford won everything. Cardiff looking good. Could they do a Huddersfield? Ben Matthew asks. Lewis says, yes, they can. And Q Lorna says Cardiff will do a job on Fulham. Remember, Neil Harris has won the playoffs before in League One, hasn't he? Warnock has the job done, not as comfortable as I thought, but they'll probably get in the playoffs next season. I know exactly what you mean. Get your money on Ashley Fletcher to score a ton of goals with some nice direct service up to him as well. Chasing are still Swansea, who we'll look at the tables at the end. I believe still can make it into the playoffs with the last game. Connor Roberts with the goal. That is going to hit the post. That looks like Fulton with that shot. I'm sure someone will correct me if it's not. It's going to smash off the post. And there is Connor Roberts, who's the right wing back, isn't he? He sticks that in. And Swansea can still do it on the last day of the season. Goal difference is very tight as well. It looks unlikely. And as I keep saying, possession 9/10 of the law on the last day of the season. But mathematically, they could do it. And we've got a drink to Luke, who's been a great subscriber. And please stay, Luke, another Leeds fan. Said Swansea would sneak the playoffs all season. Yes, you did. And I'm still saying it's unlikely, even on the last day. Let's see who is going to be right. A well-sounding name can always hold hope. 3 points and goal difference off 7th. Yes, indeed. Steve Gerrard for Bristol City, and John Terry's been linked. See, I said on the video the other day, I love the lineage when these great players come through and become great managers and continue their stories. Brilliant, brilliant. There you go. I knew I'd get it wrong. Conor Gallagher with the shot. No, they've got similar length, kind of blondie colour hair, don't we? You think Forest will beat Stoke, says Jordan. We will do the predictions show tomorrow, so I'll keep my powder dry, Jordan, and plug tomorrow's show. Stephen Gerrard is Bristol City #1 candidate. What are your thoughts, Liam? Liam, I'm all over that. I would love John Terry or Stephen Gerrard or a dream team of both. Although a fake Twitter account caught out a lot of Twitter today saying Chris Hughton had been announced. A quick plug. Support the channel. Use that $sign next to your comments. A few people have already. Thank you to them. For a super chat, you can subscribe on Patreon. If not, comment here, leave a thumbs up, and thank you, everybody. Please subscribe to the channel. We are over 10. I think we're over 10,100 now. It's been an incredible few days of subscriptions. Stephen's asking for my schedule here. So this is going to be tricky. We're going to do the watch along on Wednesday. So the preview will be tomorrow night. We'll do the watch along on Wednesday. Then I think Thursday is going to be a nightmare because I'm planning on doing. No, I should have team of the season done then. We could do reactions to my predictions on the league table on Thursday as well. So it will be there soon. Cowleys to Ipswich, says T. Thorpe. Hey, I think we had the chance of the Cowleys before and didn't do it. Russell says, you're doing a watch along. Going to be great watching the championship unfold from my lofty Leeds throne. Hey, if you play the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die. And Leeds will win this season. Ben is listening from New Zealand. Hello in New Zealand. I was going to do a, hey, Ben, how you doing? I can't do the New Zealand accent. I'm my flight of the Concords. Yeah, sorry if I've just offended your entire country with that one. There we go. Welcome along, Ben. Preston 2, Bristol, Birmingham City 0. Bauer and Potts and Birmingham announcing, well, we knew all along Jude Bellingham was off. He's gone today. They don't have a manager, but they've got some money now, at least. I'm sure whoever's interviewing for that's going to want to spend that. There is Patrick Bauer at the back of the box. Looks like Harley Dean's got his arms around him, but not anywhere near the ball. He's going to stroke that one in. And there is, it's not Dan Potts because he plays for Luton. It's Brad Potts, isn't it? Nice angle drive there past Lee Camp. Preston out of the playoff pitch. They can only finish on 68. Alex Neil does do a good job there, but he has had them higher than that. I think they were 7th last year, weren't they? Preston, correct me if I am indeed wrong. Co-Grant Huddersfield might be interested in Bielsa student, guaranteed attacking play with football with players like Smith Rowe and Willock. Are they both there permanently, those two? I know one of them's a loanee, I think. Evening, Noel, your views on Bellingham would be well received as a Blues fan. Birmingham for relegation and Mick McCarthy for manager. We all know we're going to see Mick sooner rather than later. Swansea win, Cardiff lose, Swansea goes 6th, and Swansea and Cardiff win. Forest comes down to Goldie. Wow, could be a fun one. I wonder how the points per game that was suggested to end the season would compare to the fact that'd be a good video, that, Michael, wouldn't it? We can go back and calculate that, can't we? Whether or not they use that money they've got from Bellingham is a different story. Let's see what Trillion do with that. Hi to Zero Fox. Eli, do you believe we could do it, Ben? Well, there is a scenario that game is 0-0, and I'm not saying footballers are like this. That game is 0-0, and word gets to Brentford that West Brom are 3-0 up. And then if I'm a Brentford player, do I just, I'm not going to say down tools, but do I think, well, we're not going to catch them? Fulham might be drawing or something as well. Am I then thinking, oh, well, whatever, playoffs, might let Barnsley in? Who knows? Weird things happen on the final day. Millwall could have still made the playoffs, but look at that, a 4-3. So we had 2 4-3s and a 5-3 in this one. That sounded like under pressure as I said it. 2 4-3s and a 5-3. Some rhythmic speak there. So 4-3 in this one. Let's see if we can get all the scorers right. That is Masterson from a corner after a good save by Bart, and didn't get too much prediction from his defence there. That is Matt Smith, middle of the box there, equalising for 1-1 against his former club. Indeed. There is Ryan Manning. Not the best still I've ever taken that, is it? Near the referee. Going to blast that one in. Not great from Bart in goal on that one, through his hands, I think. And there is Eze. How many teams of the season is he going to make? Good finish from that angle there with the right foot. Opens his body out nicely. There is Sean Hutchison. I think he might make a few teams of the season. Might at centre back there. Heading in. It's 3-2, by the way, if you're keeping up. Todd Kane. That's a great goal, that, actually, because that's a funny bouncing ball. He takes it early. Wrong foot. Barton goes across. And really good goal by Kane. And that is Mollenby. I think that takes a big deflection, and it's 4-3. Good season for Millwall in the end. They will hope they can just win on the last day and try and get 7th or 8th. They're 9th at the moment. But yeah, Gary Rowett settled in there nicely. Let's see if they do a sell and reinvest or try and go with the same players next season. QPR will be interesting as well, particularly parachutes are all sort of gone a year or so ago there, weren't they? Right, what is Johnny's? Oh, we've got 2 super chats here. Let me just read them out really quickly. Root Cellar, Music Studio, super sticker. Thank you, sir. I will drink to that. And Johnny J, another one. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to hear your position on XG. I think it's worthless. Do the video, please. Okay. Maybe we will. You're in agreement with Matt in the chat then, Johnny, but I'm not going to argue with you when you're doing a super chat. Michael says, providing able, do you have any fixtures next season you're planning to attend? Well, hopefully all these Leeds fans I've made are going to get me some Premier League tickets. But yes, hopefully we should be at plenty of games. Fingers crossed Luton stay up because they're just down the road from me. But I'm probably going to have to get down to Bournemouth at one point, aren't I? This is Noel, the Birmingham fan, on Jude Bellingham. Good move for Jude. He has a footballer's head beyond his years. Board will cream off the cash and probably give the new manager 10 million to spend. But as we need about 12 players, yeah. Smith Rowe is on loan from Arsenal. Yes, he is, but could probably sell, couldn't they? But Arsenal always demand top dollar for those players, as Ipswich found out with J. Emmanuel Thomas. Did they buy him direct from Arsenal? Someone will know more than me about that. The career history of the great J. Emmanuel Thomas. Here's an on the beach special for you guys. Blackburn 4, Reading 3. Look at that, 2-0 after 6 minutes as well. Dear oh me. There is Ben Brereton. Now, I like that Tony Mowbray, it looked like Brereton and Gallagher were both busts, and he's really persevering and trying to develop them. And they have both got some goals, both going to score in this game. In fact, 1-0 there. Adam Armstrong, he might, in fact, why is he not on my list? He might make a few teams of the season. So I'm just spinning around and adding him onto my list there. He's been really good, Adam Armstrong, hasn't he? Another one that will make lots of teams of the season, there is John Swift. And there seems to have been up that end at Blackburn. I know Phillips got one. I think Rothwell got one. And now Swift, some brilliant free kicks up that end. Here is Rothwell. That's going to take a big deflection. Who is that? Is that Liam Moore who's going to take the deflection off there? And And it's going to be 3-2 here. That is Bulldog on the near post, heading in a nice cross from Obita. Yaku Maite, he's had a good season, hasn't he? Maybe I should add him onto my list as well. He scores yet again. Good player, Maite. And 4-3, there is Obita, who just set up a goal, getting completely bullied out of a headed position there by the aforementioned Sam Gallagher. Thank you to Christopher. A £1.49 super sticker. We will drink to that. Saying Swift being signed by the Blades there, 3.5 million. It'll be more than that. Surely it will be more than that. Bailey says Kiefer Moore to QPR. First time spending in ages. I'm loving if it goes through. What do you think, Ben? I mentioned how impressed I was after they bit. We had Kiefer Moore at Ipswich. He wasn't ready then. He had Garner, Waghorn, Selina and McGoldrick ahead of him. And he didn't look a player, to be honest. He went off to Barnsley, did brilliantly. One thing I will say is Wigan players at the moment, if it's the administrators selling, then they should get knockdown prices, shouldn't they? So we will see. AJR says, see what we can do for Leeds tickets. Great show. Hopefully Leeds can stay up in the Prem. Reading clearing out. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I didn't hit the button. Reading clearing out this week. Swift said to be close to completing. Oh, interesting. And Gunter and McCleary, oh, they had big contracts, didn't they? I thought Gunter was going to be about 40 or something, but he's still got a few years. There's Mr. Dawes. Subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. Will Forest get top 6? Not if they play the last game like they've played the last few, but there you go. We will see. Sorry, I'm going to miss this next season, mate. No problem. You're all good. Don't agree with the 5 subs. Yeah, that's split a few people. I think Jamie Carragher doesn't want 5 subs. Right, here is a gargantuan, huge late goal in this one. We'll analyse the bottom of the table and the impact of all of the late goals here. But that one there, Macaulay Bonne on 93, really screwed Wigan. They were going to be far better positioned. Obviously, the 2 points at this stage of the season, absolutely vital. Let's take a look. That is Jamal Lowe. We've just been talking about Kiefer Moore, following up Kiefer Moore's header, putting in from pretty much on the goal line. For you XG critics there, that goal will have a magnificently high XG because it's about 2 inches out. This one won't, because it's on the volley by Alfie Doughty. Did well to score from there, didn't he? Nice cushion volley there. That is Kieran Dowell, who's had a very good end of the season, arriving there. Nice controlled finish by them. Just keep control of those ones. But Macaulay Bonne, cool as you like. 93rd minute, possibly the goal that saves Charlton in context, given I think Wigan have got Fulham, but we'll do a preview show tomorrow. Possibly the goal that relegates Wigan. Let's see on the final day how that all pans out. Should Leeds offer Berardi a new deal, asks Michael. Yeah, I think they, if it's not too expensive, they need to keep around guys that already know the Bielsa system. Katie said 2.5 for more. QPR, apparently Cardiff. I bet Cardiff are after him, weren't they? And that equaliser really broke my heart. Absolute killer. Yeah, XG again. There you go. Charlton are very good at outperforming XG, actually. Massive goal for Charlton. Wigan, very poor defending. They could have been safe indeed. Yeah, killer one for Wigan. We'll have a look at the tables in a jiffy. And there's an even bigger probably. I mean, I think if this one ended 0-0, Wigan and Charlton would be looking at the last day very, very differently. Hull 0, Luton 1. What a vital goal by Luar, 85th minute. And Nathan Jones has done a really good sprint to the line here with Luton. And they're looking good on the last day. I got that the wrong way round. Imagine you haven't seen that. And there's Luar taking the shot. And it's going to sneak in low through the crowd past George Long. Their huge goal there in the context for Luton, who have had that really good run. Right, we'll take a few comments. Then we're going to look at the form table. Let's have a look. He's put his body on the line. We're talking Berardi so many times, fits in every time he's asked to. Yeah, I think it just depends on the wages, doesn't it? This weekend was just a weekend to forget. For the neutral, Kate, it was very exciting. But yeah, I can imagine as a Wigan fan, after all that hard work, yeah, not so good. I did ask months ago, why did the Cowleys go to Huddersfield? Yeah, it looks like the Cowleys have been well and truly done here, haven't they? But there we go. The admin have said that nothing is allowed until Cook says so. Interesting. Normally, the admin have final say. Well, that is them having final say, but good that they're consulting with an actual football brain like Paul Cook. Luton 10 points from 4 away games. Is that true? That is exceptional, isn't it? Oliver, who is a Patreon, asks, what do you think of Carlos Corberan for Huddersfield? I would be personally happy with that. Anyone else with respect to Bielsa must be worth a go. Still gutted the Cowleys leaving. Oliver, it depends. We were chatting on Twitter about this. Really depends what type of a job this is. And if that parachute money is all going to the previous owner, then is it the right job for a new guy in his first job in management? Bielsa disciple who you would expect to do things or try and do things a similar way to Bielsa, which means a long gestation period of players getting used to new regimes and new styles. Have Huddersfield got time for that, or do they do a Houghton or McCarthy and try and work with the good players they've got and push up as high as they can? Not sure. Really not sure. Russ, host of a wonderful Fulham podcast, Cottage still there. What is my view on Scott Parker? Would it be an underachievement not to gain automatic promotion? Probably, yeah. But automatic promotion playoffs. I think if he gets them up, he's kind of done the job given the wage. Yeah, I've got a sneaking feeling he gets another season though, even if he doesn't get them up. Chendi Wendy for Henderson, really love your work. Maybe we can grab a drink if Leeds get promoted. Anybody ever sees me at a game, we'll have one of those crappy little plastic bottles of wine. We'll have a drink and we'll talk football. Absolutely. Katie says, I still believe we can beat Fulham. And remember as well, look at the context of what could happen in this final day. Fulham could have nothing to play. If West Brom are 3-0 up at half-time in their game, Fulham and Barnsley are effectively then, it's Brentford, excuse me, are effectively then just playing for playoffs, aren't they? Right, let's have a look at the tables. Let's have a little look at the form table first off, and look at Fulham. Finished the season beautifully, haven't they? Leeds and Fulham up there on 16. And for those people who say Brentford have bottled it, yeah, really? One defeat there and just 1 point off the top of the form table. Wigan still up there. West Brom just doing enough. Swansea, Cardiff, neck and neck-ish there. Millwall, Stoke. That's a nice little push, isn't it? 10 points in there. And Huddersfield as well. And Luton. You can see the outlier teams there who are down the bottom of the table, but higher up in the form table. The big one at the bottom there, look, 18. Nottingham Forest, who are in the playoffs. 6 points from the last 6. That's bottom 6 form, as you can just about see from that. I know they're a little bit higher than that, but across the season, that's a point per game, isn't it? 46 points would have you relegated, wouldn't it? Birmingham, Hull, Charlton, Derby falling off a cliff a little bit at the end of the season. So let's have a look at the top half. We'll do this properly tomorrow in the preview show. Leeds, miles clear now. Look at that. 8 points clear, given both West Brom and Brentford lost, and Leeds just keep winning, don't they? So the situation on the last day, there it is. So for Fulham to do it on the last day would require a West Brom defeat, a Brentford draw, and a Fulham win. For Brentford to do it on the final day would require either a Brentford draw and defeats for both Fulham and West Brom, or a Brentford win, in which case it wouldn't matter what Fulham did, and a draw for West Brom is still doable. And again, a few people have painted a scenario where Forest actually can drop out of the playoffs there. So at the moment, it's only Swansea who can make it into the playoffs now. So it's between Swansea, Cardiff and Forest for those last 3 2 playoff places, 2 from 3 there. The only way Swansea can make it would be for Cardiff to lose and Swansea to win, in which case Any permutation of that, and the goal difference would swing. Or it doesn't matter then what Cardiff do, but were Swansea to win by 3 and put their goal difference up to 9, and were Forest to lose by 2 and put their goal difference down to 9, then Swansea would overtake Forest on goals scored. That's assuming Forest don't actually score, lose 6-4 or something, but we're getting into the realms of the ridiculous now, aren't we? For the bottom half, oh my God. So we're assuming Wigan are getting the 12-point deduction here, and that the late goals. So don't forget here, if Barnsley didn't score their late goal there, then they would have been relegated. They would have been on 44 points and wouldn't have been able to catch Luton. So that's kept them in it. That's also put Hull bottom. So now for Hull to be able to get out of this, they need to win, and they need to hope that Luton lose, and Charlton really well. They're not going to catch Charlton because the goal difference is so massive. So Hull are desperately in need there of a Luton defeat and Wigan and Barnsley to both drop points. Hull look a little bit screwed, don't they? For Barnsley, well, they're having a good look at Wigan, Luton and Charlton, aren't they? We'll do this all properly, but a Barnsley win would take them to 49, but their goal difference is worse than Charlton's, but better than Luton's. My God, it's going to be an interesting final day. What Wigan have got in their pocket, look at there, they've got better goal difference than everybody. However, they're not a draw away. Wigan are a win away. So Wigan need to get a win. If they do, there's every chance that either Charlton or Luton, remember Charlton are playing away at Leeds, and Charlton could get sucked in there by Wigan. We'll look at it all properly tomorrow. It's going to be a hell of a final day. So performance of the game week. Get your comments in right now for performance of the game week. I'll bring the results up one more time so you guys can see them. Some definite suggestions here would be Barnsley with the late goal, Luton, I think, with the away win. Those would be my 2 suggestions. Cardiff as well when the chips were down. Get your thoughts in. I'm going to flip over to the comments right now. Eli says, got to be us, right, for performance of the week. It's a close one. Luton did go away to a direct rival as well, didn't they? Jay agrees. Barnsley. Hayden says Barnsley. Come on. Leeds have had the title. Huddersfield, I should have said, as well. Stoke. Fair comment, Matthew. Russell, Stoke and Huddersfield. Luton with the pressure. Leeds win 3-1 with drunks and youngsters. Luton, Barnsley, Huddersfield. I suppose Barnsley at the end of the game with the pressure, yes. I just think Luton to go must-win game, score 5 minutes from time. I think that's absolutely brilliant stuff from there. We'll go to Q&A. Goal of the weekend. Anybody? I'll throw up the results again. I'm thinking maybe Doughty's cushion volley for Charlton. Naskins Cabano's free kick under the wall. Possibly John Swift's free kick for Reading. Otherwise, probably one of those. Let me know what you think for your goal of the game week. Let's have a look. Goals, what are they there? Alfie's volley. Todd Keynes was excellent, wasn't it? Really clever headed finish. That one, Fulham free kick under the wall. That was very clever, wasn't it? Mitro first one. I suppose Shackleton's for the narrative was nice, but hey, Leeds have won everything this week, wasn't it? Lee Gregory against Brentford for the importance. Yeah, plenty of arguments. I think pure aesthetic stuff as well. John Swift's free kick, and Noel S. He didn't hit it quite like Van Hooijdonk used to, but when the free kick goes over the wall and then under the keeper's dive to go up and down is just superb. So Katie says points deduction won't be found out until potentially the 27th. Well, God, does that render my watch along useless if we don't actually know what's going to happen there? Derby's own goal, that was gloriously useless, wasn't it? What do you think of Charles Henderson's shocking performance against Luton? Tell me more. Kate says, Luar, I think for importance. Do I rate Matt Smith as a striker in the Championship? He always seems to grab a goal with his head when given game time. I just wonder, is he mobile enough? But he always seems to do fairly well when he plays, doesn't he? You just want him to get 30 or 40 games in a season, see how many he can score. John says, Sheffield Wednesday. We're on to Q&A now, guys. Q&A. Anything you want to talk about, we'll try and talk about for a little while. Sheffield Wednesday FFP is overdue. Apparently they have decided and they know what they're going to do. So we will see. Hoping Bielsa will want to help us out on Wednesday. Spoke to Struber after the game. Everyone seems to love Struber at the moment. Matt Smith would be good under Warnock. Of course he would. There we go. A question, Ben, says David. What is it? Sheffield Wednesday might get theirs to up to 21, long overdue. Remember, that is the absolute maximum that they could get. We'll see. How did I meet and work with Kieran Maguire? I think we just knew each other from our work and exchanged emails, and he's been very gracious and good with his time ever since. Absolute knowledge that guy's got on football finances. Did you catch the Rooney County vs Leeds yesterday? If so, opinions on Pervader and Struich. Struich, I thought, looks a player, doesn't he? I just suspect, and some of these fans disagreed with me, that under 23s would be better, that he might do well to do a loan to the Championship next season. So, but Struich definitely looks a player, didn't he? Even though I haven't watched the Prem for 16 years, I won't watch another Championship game. Oh, no. You love it, hey? You love it. What about Derby, Sheffield Wednesday? Can that run into next year? Really shouldn't run into next year, should it? But, we'll see. John says, Karanka to Blues, Ben, good appointment. Well, he's notoriously grumpy, though, isn't he, Karanka? And you wonder whether he would fall out with Trillion. I would suspect that people would want money, especially some of that Bellingham money. And I think people might be starting to get put off by the amount of managers that have been through there. But look, it's a well-established club at Championship level, been in the Premier League. So, you want to work in the Premier League, you could, pick worse jobs, couldn't you? Would I pay $5 million for Hogan? Yes, absolutely, I would. And I'd stick him up front with Luka Šukovic and just leave the two of them there. But yes, no, I think that would be worth it. Just depends on the wages. If you're going to have to pay another $5 million out across the value of the contract, I'm talking 3-4 years, then tricky. No one knows where they stand. EFL points deductions for Wednesday. Derby, Wigan deduction for Wednesday puts them in danger of relegation. Yes, indeed, it does. As I understood the Birmingham deduction, it was 9 points. They got a point added on for it being a flagrant breach, and then that point got taken off for them cooperating. Remember, the more you go over the 3-year rolling 39 million losses, the more points you get deducted. So, particularly in the Derby case, if they're found guilty, then who decides what the actual value of Pride Park is and how many? I don't know. So confusing. Who is better, Don Revie or Brian Clough? Well, they would have had a good argument about it. They were both incredible. Maybe Brian Clough but both absolutely incredible. Why are they allowing all the last games to be played without knowing the points deduction been in place? I totally agree with that. They shouldn't allow the last games to go ahead without the points deductions known, because it can completely change. If you're a Sheffield Wednesday defender playing out a draw and you didn't know that attacking would have got you a goal to survive relegation, then it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. Smith serves a purpose, but limit the way you can play. Yeah, well put. Imagine if Derby get 21 this season too. We would stay up by default. Yeah. Do I think FFP is overrated, and the EFL. I have trouble with overrated. I think FFP is necessary, but needs tidying up. Which team do you think relegation will affect more? I don't know. Depends on the administration of Wigan and what else is going to happen there. You wouldn't want to see, manager and players all go out and then have no money in League One, etc. So Barnsley should be fine. Charlton, you'd think, would lose Bowyer if they got relegated at some point as well, which wouldn't do well to find a manager as good as him in League One, wouldn't they? So tricky one. Hull, if the alarms have just packed up, then relegation could be disastrous for them. Thoughts on Corberon link? I think it would be brave. I think it would be brave as Huddersfield, and it would be brave of Corberon to do it. That's not to say it couldn't work out brilliantly for them. But yeah, definitely be a brave call on both parties. Do I think Luton would be better off playing rugby? I don't really get rugby, so probably not. End up rewatching the 4-year plan. Do you think having celebrity owners, big egos today, don't care about the club can work as it did much QPR after much failure in 2011? Remember, all of these rich owners have got big egos, whether they're celebrities or not. They're all used to being the alpha male or female in the room, aren't they? And they're used to winning, and they're used to getting their own way, aren't they? They're a strange breed, these mega rich people. So I don't know. There's good owners and bad owners, aren't they? I don't think. I mean, Marcus Evans at Ipswich is a complete recluse, and everyone thinks he's hopeless, don't they? So, and Tony Fernandez was on Twitter every day, wasn't he? Mike, do I follow Swiss Ramble on Twitter? Another great football finance guy. I believe I do, actually. But the thing with Twitter now is you need to have the notifications turned on. I don't get to see half of it, do you? With the QSI in a maybe, who will invest in the 45%? Not sure. I thought they were the only people interested in Leeds. I do think they'll still put money in, won't they? Struich was class, definitely one to watch. Red also. Will you attend a Prem game at ER? If I can get a ticket, yes, I'd love to. I'd love to come. So, yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Will Watford stay up? No offence to Watford. Hopefully they do stay up though, because Bournemouth and Watford, as opposed to having Aston Villa down. Villa will be fun for the channel. Just you mark my words on that. Brad, do you think the Leeds under-23 manager will become the Huddersfield manager? Do I think it will happen? There's a few people who are well connected seem to think it would. So, yeah, I'll keep my powder dry. But Paul Cook, favourite for the Birmingham job. Yeah, this is the problem that Wigan have got now. If they get completely asset stripped, then yeah, Hogan will cost less than 5 million clause in the loan agreement. I wonder if the clause says anything about his wages though, because he's not actually not about 2 million quid a season, isn't he? So 2.5 year deal on 2 million a season is 5 million in wages anyway, isn't it? So we'll see what that is. Don't see the point in being snobbish about the Championship. You get the best and the worst, the best drama. Look at that table for proof. Absolutely. How has the Premier League lost Bellingham? I don't know. Dortmund have bought some players, but really, I don't think the Premier League lost out on Bellingham forever, have they? I think he ends up there, and I think it's quite a clever move by him and his agents. So it's going to be a little bit easier for him at Dortmund than it would be at a higher up or even a middling Premier League club. So if it works the same way as Sancho, then he will be great. Where did you get 5 million from, Ben? Super chats? I wish. Hey, let's do a drink without super chat. Why not? Hey, QPR's 2 million bid for Keith Moore has been accepted. There we go. There beginneth the outgoings at Wigan. Anna says apparently Bristol City is set to appoint Danny Cowley after he was sacked, but then talks with the likes of Terry and Gerrard. Interesting. See who ends up there. Do you think Luton will stay up? Well, when we looked at that table, Hull looked pretty squished, and Wigan have got Fulham, and Barnsley have got Brentford, and Luton have got a 2-point gap. They've got horrible goal difference. That's the only thing that's against them really here. But it's looking okay. Did Nicholas Bentner play for Birmingham on loan? I think so. I'm sure one of the Blues in here will know. Cowley to Bristol would be interesting. Yeah, I think so. Although I thought he was going to get money at Huddersfield, but apparently Dean Hoyle is sweeping that up. And I'd find that worrying if I was a Huddersfield fan. That's exactly the same way that Sunderland was financed, wasn't it? The new owners said, or rather the people selling said, well, you take the parachute money, that can be our payment to you, and we just do it without parachute money. That does send a few shudders if it doesn't go well. I don't think there'll be any deductions this season. It wouldn't be right. I don't know if I agree, Ridley. I think because on financial terms we're a year behind effectively. All these infractions were done in non-COVID times. Perhaps I agree with you that maybe FFP will be lifted to take into account COVID, or the losses can be greater or what have you. But yeah, if Shev Wed's got 12 points, automatically relegated. Yep. Well, we'll see what they do on the last day of the season. When will Lambert get sacked? Says Andy Gray, ITFC on Twitter. Paul Lambert will be sacked if Ipswich are in the bottom half of the table assuming the season starts in September, in December, I would have thought, and the fans will completely turn there. Yes, Nicholas Bentner did play at Birmingham and got fined for taking his shorts off to celebrate a goal, didn't he? You think all teams should have the same limit to spend and it not be based on how much you earn as a club? I don't know. That's one, this NFL way of no relegations and setting the revenues and sharing everything. Part of me thinks that football is very capitalist, and you should be rewarded if you can draw a massive crowd and draw good hospitality and do good business. It feels like it would punish people who did good business for them not to be able to spend the money. I heard on a podcast yesterday the term competitive imbalance. Remind me to use that when I'm ranting about parachute payments. We don't want a competitive imbalance at any point, but I don't know. It's such a hard one to judge, isn't it? But no, I'm not sure. There should be spending limits based that way, but I don't know the answer. Ben, how many players have had Bielsa as a mentor for more than 2 years? Not that many, because all the good ones tend to go and get sold, or he leaves the club, doesn't he? So I suppose you're looking at Ayling, Phillips, and Cooper for those massive improvements. Jack Harrison as well in that Leeds team at the moment. So certainly very, very good at developing players, isn't he? Let's have a look here. Sorry, I'm just scrolling, guys. Stick with me 1 second. Hit the like button if you have not done so already. Loads of great questions in here. Down says, I can't see Hull doing anything other but go down again, or if they go down. Yeah, might happen, mightn't it? I don't see Sheffield Wednesday getting anything less than 12 points. Said for months they are screwed. Monk knows it too. Can tell by what he's been saying in presses. Eek, that wouldn't be good. UEFA are dropping FFP due to Corona. Will the EFL? I suspect if they don't drop it, I suspect they'll relax it in some way, shape, or form. I would think they would kind of do something in line with their transfer window and say, I don't think it would be fair for them to drop it and then for, I don't know, someone to spend 15 million quid because they can at that point. Let's say, for example, Bristol City, who've got a rich owner. That wouldn't be fair, but I think they'll relax it for sure. Aaron says 49ers are invested in Leeds. It's expected they'll invest more. Yeah. So there's the American money and there's the Arab money as well from QSI. It'd be very, very interesting. When you see what's happening at Charlton, Wigan, Hull, etc., makes me appreciate how lucky we are to have John Berylson. Yeah, and if Ipswich were still in the Championship, I'd be saying how lucky we are to have Marcus Evans as well. They've still got to make good operational decisions, and Millwall always seem to do that. Is corruption embedded in the EFL, and if so, will it get sorted? I don't think so, but they have been weak, cowering to the Premier League over times, haven't they? So, yeah, they could have been better, put it that way. Matthew asks, who do you think has the best chance in the playoffs if they get it right? This is next season. Reading, Stoke, Blackburn or Borough? Well, Stoke with parachute money and Bet365 money out of those 4 next season. Borough obviously have Warnock, but no parachute money. So tricky. Luton board are loved by the fans. Yes, they are indeed. Rightly so, I think. How do I feel about Ipswich life? I try not to think about it. Clause for Hogan is just to pick up the remaining wages on the last 12 months. Oh, okay. Interesting. Always good insight from John. In which case, Birmingham should definitely sign Hogan on that deal. Which teams will be strong in the Championship next season? Norwich, Aston Villa, probably. Who's in year 2 of their plan? I think Derby will, to be fair. I think their youngsters improve. Millwall, if they get the recruitment right, and they might have to sell either Wallace or Cooper to do so. Barnsley, if they stay up. Do you think Ipswich should be renamed Switchship? No, no, I don't. I think Ipswich is a lovely name. There we go. I know that it's spilt milk, etc., about having watched the disallowed goal against Derby because Pavetta got back on side before the ball was kicked. His goal should have counted. Did he? I thought he was well offside, but there you go. Doesn't matter now. Still won 3-1, didn't they? Krish says, I'm so scared for Wednesday. Come on, you bees. You think Brentford are going up one way or another? Can I reserve judgment until I see exactly who they've got in the playoffs and the nature of how they go into the playoffs? But everyone says that they're the second or third best team in the league. Some people say they're the best team in the league, but they're not going to finish in the top 2 possibly. So they've got to go and do it again in next season. Who do you think will be promoted from League One next season? If Barnsley go down, Barnsley. Hopefully Ipswich, but I'm not more hope than expectation. Fleetwood, if they keep Joey Barton, should be able to challenge, and Andy Pilley can still keep putting money in there. Peterborough, if they can do the business right with Ivan Toney and reinvest that, or maybe keep him. So, yeah, a few shouts there, but we're a long way out, a lot of water under the bridge yet. Where Ben White is concerned, Brighton piping up like they have big plans for him after constantly preferring Dunk, Duffy and Balogun. Ben White would not want to stay at Brighton. Yeah, unfortunately, in this scenario, Ben White's been so good. Leeds and Ben White don't really get that much of a say in it, do they? Unless he literally downs tools and says, I want to go to Leeds, but I don't think he will. They could just be playing hardball for the fee, though. You don't know. We're linked with Grant from Huddersfield. Yeah, I saw that today. Problem with Leeds is they'll have to spend towards 50 million for White and Harrison to keep what they've got without proving. Yeah, that was a problem for Villa, wasn't it? Even matching what they had in terms of that they had Abraham, Tuanzebe and Mings had to spend big, didn't they, just to match it, and then they lost a load of older players as well, didn't they? So audio is out of sync. I apologise if there is any issues with the audio. I'm trying my best. Hopefully, it's like the worst possible time. I don't have a job. I'm trying to push for YouTube, so I need to raise the revenues from YouTube. But then in order to do better, I really need to get a new computer. But it's tricky. It's very, very tricky. Russell says, I'm hoping Leeds pick the best parts of the 3 teams that don't go up from the champ, and the 3 who go down. Premier League, Pookie, Lewis, Cash, Benrahma, Pereira, Cook, Wilson. Usually they took our players. Now, having studied the Championship last season, you don't want Lewis. You want Aarons or Buendia. Pookie, Buendia and Aarons are the best 3 players at Norwich. Pookie would be good for Bielsa, actually, because he does all of that pressing stuff and he's a great finisher as well. Somebody has noticed, Taxman. I finally went to the hairdressers. It's a bit springy, but it's a lot lighter. Yes, thank you, Taxman. Very kind of you to say. And do you know what the hairdresser said? The hairdresser said, "Have you been training? You look like you've lost weight." There you go. Maybe he just wants me to be his customer forever, old Daryl at the hairdressers. But yes, nice to have my hair noticed and my weight loss noticed in one go. At least Harrison is just on loan again next season. I think Leeds have got quite a good deal on Harrison. I think they've got 8 million locked in as a fee there, haven't they? So David says they are the same, Ben. Business never change unless you change the rules. I'm really sorry, I can't remember at what point in the discussion we were there. Now Mike says the argument with the Cowleys at Huddersfield was with the CEO or whoever he is wanting to do all the player deals, and he wanted the Cowleys to just coach and the Cowleys wanted to do it all. When I hear the CEO wants to do all the player deals and he's not the sporting director, and when I hear that the takeover was financed with the future parachute money, I start to worry about how Huddersfield are going to do next season and in the next 2 seasons. Twitter really making Wigan look stupid. What's happening on Twitter? Indeed, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just scrolling. We will keep going. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm still scrolling. Millions of comments. Brilliant stuff. I've been searching for you, Jesus. I finally found you, says Chendi Wendy for Henderson. Great original joke there about me being Jesus. There we go. Sorry, I forgot the Harrison deal had been done. Yeah, good work by all. That was a good one. And Bielsa's improved him so much. If you're Mick McCarthy, would you rather take the Bristol or the Birmingham job? God, no offence to Birmingham, but Bristol all day long there, given the ownership and the recruitment and the money I'd get, and I don't have to work with Trillion. Ben, the Watchtower, Hendrix, go on, play it. I can't play the guitar, can I? Play the keyboard. Excuse me. Well, I kissed the sky. No, that's Purple Haze. Oh, I don't know. Didn't Bob Dylan write All Along the Watchtower? Jordan says, can't see Forests getting playoffs. Are there shocking performances? Could happen. Could happen. I think Ayling, Cooper, Dallas, Harrison can do it in the Prem. Harrison, yes. Dallas probably with his brain, but might be a sub. Cooper, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. Ayling, I think, might be okay, actually, especially at full back. Second Tier Podcast put a post with all the wrong numbers for Kiefer Moore and saying we accepted a lower bid for him than in January, despite him becoming top scorer. Missing out. We are in admin. Yeah, it's difficult, Kate, isn't it? Sometimes people post stuff, and I know Second Tier have got. I've done a thing with Justin actually on Derby County here before, and people don't check the information before they retweet it, which is not great. Let's have a look. Should Leeds break the bank for Ben White? They should try and do everything they can to get him. Depends what break the bank is. We don't know how much they've got and how much Brighton will want, and hopefully Brighton won't know what Leeds have got, and Leeds will know what Brighton want. They could really do with getting him though. They really, really, really could. Could Derby challenge for automatic promotion if they get the recruitment right, like Farker did in the second season? Yeah, possibly. Yeah, you never know in the Championship. I think they need to keep Rooney for another season. Hope Sibley, Whittaker, Buchanan, Bird, Lowell improve a little bit more at the same time. Might have to sell Bogle though, mightn't they? That might be an issue there, so they might need a right back. But here we go. Ben, what was Sean Harvey's biggest failure as EFL chief? The TV deal and not standing up to the Premier League. James, what's my opinion on Macaulay Bonne? A lot of fans being overly critical of him, bearing in mind that Jamie Vardy got 4 goals. Macaulay Bonne's done really well. I don't know why Charlton fans are getting on his back. Everyone expected Lyle Taylor to lead the line, and he was injured, and then he naffed off at the end of the season. Tom Ahmed never did anything, and Macaulay Bonne I think has done really well. Hit the like button. Yes, do that. Banana Tree Gamer. I'm a Leeds fan. What positions do you think we need to build in? Centre back. Someone to play with White and give Cooper a bit of a challenge. Central midfield. Someone to play with Klitsch and ease the burden on Hernandez at his age. And a number 9 to push Mr. Bamford. Will Rooney manage to do any coaching next season, or is he still finishing his course? I'm absolutely sure he'll finish his course next season. That's plenty of time, won't he? Football's got loads of time, haven't they? Only train for 2 hours a day, says the great myth. Best team in the league, Ben. Brentford aren't even the best team in the past 6 games. There you go. I'm saying, some people say. I didn't say it. I don't think Villa will be as strong as you think next season in the Championship. They will lose quite a few players and spent a lot of money on players yet to prove themselves. Yeah, maybe indeed. I was asked who I thought would do well. I just threw a name in. They might not even be in the Championship. But yeah, a lot of water under the bridge there. Balogun got rejected by Brighton. However, it helped save Wigan's season. Some good business there. Heretic. All the anxiety during lockdown and then an unbelievable post-C19 for the whole Championship. League One and France made a massive mistake. I've got nothing to say about that, Heretic. I totally agree. It's been fabulous, hasn't it? Really, really fabulous. Life of TikTok. My point, Ben, is Bielsa believes in his chosen apprentices where many a coach wouldn't. Yep, I agree. Any club going down should stick a bid in for McGinn when them lot go down. Brilliant player, too good for the Championship. Absolutely. And perfect foil for Grealish in that midfield as well. Bielsa to spank Frank Lampard's Chelsea next season. An interesting match that, won't they? There you go. Pookie is terrible. Okay. Now, I normally have a good answer for this when I find that ridiculous. If you think Pookie's terrible, Q-Liner, tell me one player who you think is better than him and one player who you think is worse than him in your context. So I need to know one player who you think is good and one player who you think is worse than terrible. I think Pookie's a brilliant player, but you're entitled to your opinion. Somehow I'd feel more confident going into the Championship as a Norwich fan than a Villa fan. Absolutely. So would I. Far more financially stable. I think that's Russell up there. I can see your super chat. Not enough super chats or stickers coming in for my liking. Bit towards your computer. There we go. Not for the channel. Not for wine, Ben. No, not for wine, even though I'm drinking yet again. And my missus' cousin is coming to stay, so we probably have some drinks tonight. Andrew, nice trim, Ben. Thank you, guys. I need to give it a wash. Bless Daryl. He parted it the wrong way. I can't believe I'm going to stand up for a Norwich player here. Why would you say Pookie is not Premier League level? Because up until Christmas, hasn't he got like 11 goals in one of the most terrible points-wise Premier League teams? I don't think he's had a bad season, Pookie. Let's have a look. Maybe he wants to be more than your hairdresser. Daryl. I think Daryl is very happy because I've chatted to him a long time today. He's very happy with his husband, Michael, who's a headmaster at the age of 30. So he's making significantly more money than I am at the moment without my job. So I don't think I'm a rival for my hairdresser, Daryl's husband. But I will happily let him cut my hair because he does a lovely job. Pookie just had a freak season. I doubt he'll ever repeat that. Oh, no, I agree with that. He may not repeat that season, but you said he was terrible, Q-Liner. He's not terrible, is he? Did he say he lost weight after he cut my hair? There we go. Katie says, I have no idea how Leon Clark is a Premier League footballer. Katie, did you go to Ipswich Wigan last year where you equalised in the last minute and it was 1-1? And we had a guy sent off after like 20 minutes. Leon Clark must have missed about 5 one-on-ones in this game. Deary me. The team in third cannot be better than the team in first. That is like arguing Wickham are better than Coventry. I think people are saying, subjectively the team that they prefer to watch, But statistically, if we believe the league table, then Jay, you are right. The team in first is the best team and the team in 24th is the worst team. And I think we should stick to that, shouldn't we? Hull were flying in the league. They sold their assets. Frightening, they have dropped like a stone. Not many points gained after the transfer window. Nope, horrific, wasn't it? Krish says, not related to football. You're a really good YouTuber. Started watching you 2 weeks ago, and you have my follow. Keep it going. Thank you, Krish. And that is Krish is a Brentford fan. If I'm trying to remember who everyone is. Simon has done a super chat. We'll get to it in a minute. I can just see it coming in on the top there. Thank you. £15 from Simon. I'll put it up when it comes. My missus told me off, actually. She said she watched my stream, and because there's so many comments, and I try and read so many of them, that people do super chats, and then it takes 15 minutes for me to read them, which is not cool. So there we go. Leeds 2020 had a haircut today. Make it your profile picture there instead of a Leeds badge. Heretic says, I just opened a bottle of Rioja Reserva in anticipation of watching my beloved Deportivo get relegated. Deportivo were going to be in the 3rd division, are they? No way. No way at all. Do you remember Juan Carlos Valeron, who played for Deportivo Heretic? What a player he was. Unbelievable. Ding, 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 ding. Katie, favourite musical instrument? I used to play the accordion. Hopefully my tattoo, if I can even get it in the shot, gives away my favourite musical instrument. I love to hear the cello played nicely. A very lovely rich tone, and the oboe, but the piano made me lots of money in my life, so I'm very, very happy about it. Let's have a look. Philip, do you think the Bluebirds will go up? If they don't, going to have to watch you for another year. That's tremendous, Philip. I'm gonna drink to that. See if the banter amuses me, then I'll take it. Well, they've got good Premier League level players left over from last season. Harris has won in the playoffs before. They might catch, say, Brentford, a bit gutted about not making second. Who knows? David says, you ask a lot of questions. Yeah, I do. Ben, I stupidly listened to OBLSA. It was in my head for hours. Catch the little number. Check out on the channel, OBLSA, my silly Leeds United song. They're a lot of fun, that one. Taxman, am I missing the teaching? Honestly, no, because I got redeployed at the start of June and I was a TA. I was still being paid my teacher's wage, but I just haven't done it for so long. No, not overly, but I'm gonna have to start doing private piano teaching again. If anyone in the Bedfordshire area needs lessons. Ailing needs to improve, massively improves passing and regular bad decisions. 90% is great, but 10%, a little too much for the Prem. Possibly fair, but I think he deserves the chance to have a go at it, doesn't he? People not checking information is stupid before sharing things. I have to hold my hands up, Kate. I've done that before where I've retweeted something, and if I just clicked down and read the article and then read something else, I would have realised I was retweeting complete nonsense. Easily done, isn't it? When I think Ipswich will sign Ronaldo and Messi, never. Do you think Forest will be able to get automatics next season if they bottle the playoffs? Well, they'll be in year 2. I like Lamucci with some good recruitment, possibly. The only issue with Forest is FFP and then recruitment is who would Forest sell that would raise a ton of money? They don't have that Jayden Bogle, maybe, that is an expensive young English player. I suppose you could raise money with Lolly, but would you want to keep him? Thiago Silva, Worrell. You just worry about them turning over. But if they can do good recruitment like they've done this season, then they could do it, couldn't they? Radrazani is in Europe somewhere now doing a player deal. Says our transfer record is about to be broken. Interesting. Do I think Jamie Shackleton will be a starter for Leeds in the future? I hope so. That would be great. Betty Swallow says, keep Rooney. Are you kidding? The man is holding them back and the rest of the team want to shift some timber as well. When I've seen Derby in the flesh this year, Rooney's been one of their better players. So, but you are entitled to your opinion, Betty Swallow. Do you think that Cowie's will go back to Lincoln, maybe get them into the playoffs. I think they'll hang around for a championship job. They're very, very ambitious, those two. There is Russell's super chat there. Thank you. I think I've already read that one. Andrew, that's a great question. Who would win? Jukanovic's Fulham 17-18 vs Leeds this season. That would be a superb game, wouldn't it? So you're talking this season's Leeds versus a Fulham team with Kenny Johansson, McDonald, Sessegnon, Cabano, Mitrovic on loan, wasn't it? All I'll say is it'd be a really, really good game. Really good game. That Jordan, thank you, sir. A 79p super chat there. I will drink to that, my friend. Are you drinking to Cardiff City because they're going to be promoted? I drink to everybody especially who does a super chat. Although I'm getting a bad reputation here with my drinking. Scrolling again. Scrolling. Stick with me, guys. Stick with me. What Cardiff need next season if they are or aren't promoted this season? That's a good question. A bit more pace in the team. Maybe bring the average age down a little bit. Championship dark horse for next season. Here you go. Here's your darkest horse. Barnsley stay up. The Billy Bean Moneyball people invest some money. They keep Gerhard Struber and they do a Norwich and go straight through. There we go. I think Pukki under Bielsa would be immense. There we go. Would have him in a heartbeat. If McGoldrick is considered a Premier League player, so is Pukki. Remember, you're a Premier League player if you play in the Premier League, even if it's under a brilliant team and manager. Your average buy. Hi, Ben. Can you please shout out Jack Nisbet? It is his birthday today. Happy birthday, Jack Nisbet. Simon, I've already read that, but we'll put it up and I will drink to you, sir. Thank you so much for that super chat. Did it disappear if I do that at the top? There we go. I just don't rate Pukki. He was a tap-in merchant last season. Goodness me, you've really got it in for Pukki, Q-Liner. I thought he was brilliant last season. I thought his finishing was exceptional. Look, every striker scores tap-ins, don't they? Is that a bad thing? They're in the right position. They're playing in a well-functioning team that creates high percentage chances. It's a bad thing to score tap-ins. Ian Rush is one of my favourite strikers indeed. Knee down, that has come through as a super chat. Thank you. I'll get down to it in just a minute. Jordan, could I wish Charles Henderson's nan a happy birthday from you? What's this Charles Henderson business? It would be lost to her. Happy birthday, Charles Henderson's nan, if that's a person. Where are we looking? Yeah, but did that Fulham team win the league? No. They were up against Nuno's Wolves that I think would probably beat every championship team ever. Warnock's Cardiff, yeah, that's a different matter, isn't it? Leon Clark broke the record for most missed easy chances, although he did get the assist at Ellen Rowe. God, you got good memory, haven't you? Garner equaliser again. Yeah, Garner. He did the no celebration, didn't he? My dogs are going crazy. I guess someone's out in the garden now. What is the meaning of life, Ben? As you are Jesus, my friend. I don't know what the meaning of life is. And I guess that's one of the beauties of it, to explore this wonderful universe and converse with as many people as possible and get great experiences and learn, I guess. But that's a whole different subject, isn't it? If somehow Brentford and West Brom lose and Fulham one, I'll go crazy. It'd be amazing to go straight back. Yeah, that would be the most unlikely one, wouldn't it? Ben, the players that got us up with a few exceptions, challenge for the title next year. It's the hope, dream, but most commonly expectation of Leeds fan. There we go. Remember when Bebeto played for Deportivo? Jalminia as well. Favourite sauce? Can I say like Madras sauce in a curry? That'd be good, wouldn't it? TikToks is on the sauce. Speaking of sauce, there we go. And what do you ask for? when you go to the barbers? Well, I asked for my layers to be done. I asked for the grey to be cut out of my hair and for a couple of inches to be taken off. Sholalam 9. Do I think Villa will stay up? Well, Watford have got Manchester City, haven't they? But then Villa have got Arsenal, but Arsenal might be tired. And then there's that shootout v West Ham. No, I don't think they will. I do not think they will. Morning, Ben, says Max, who's done a super chat. So I'll drink to that. $7.99, that one. I'll be here for Dearly Departed next season. Brilliant stuff, Max. Thank you so much indeed. If Villa go down, who do you think the new manager will be? I wouldn't sack Dean Smith, personally. He's not responsible for the horrific financial mismanagement of Villa over many years, is he? Joe Worrell would be the saleable asset. Yeah, quite possibly. Forest. Apparently Charlton are under a transfer embargo and don't know who their owners are. Yeah, God, poor Charlton and their owners. Jamie Shacks is quicker than Dan James. Is he? Dan James is well quick, isn't he? That's my assessment of that. Well quick. So I'm going to have to scroll again for more comments. Thank you, everybody, for staying in the chat. We'll do another little bit longer. Duncan says, it's a bit late in the day to have FFP charges, but no idea on points deduction with only one game left. Should have been done and dusted weeks ago. Just remember Birmingham's one. They were charged in September, and then it was the last financial break, wasn't it? Dear oh me. The only issue with my hair this long is it's quite hard to put up at the moment. As you can see, horrific job of that because my eye is streaming again and my hair's going in my eyes. There you go. Weird, quiff looking thing. Hey ho, who cares? I was watching the other day. I said to my mate, every time Rooney has got the ball, he hasn't given it away once. Yeah, I still think Rooney's quality at championship level, isn't he? Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine loan players to other Ukraine teams and allow them to play against them. They say, how can these players improve if they don't play against the best? There we go. Frank's mentality, says Chris, won't let Brentford feel sad about dropping second. They can definitely beat Cardiff because Brentford are too fast. I think Fulham will be for the Bees, though, in the final, maybe too much. Interesting. Fulham-Brentford final, possibly. Have I seen a Fulham-Brentford game? I don't think I have, actually, the past couple of seasons. Well, definitely not last season because they weren't in the same division, were they? There is Knee Down's super chat. Thank you, sir. Sorry, I assume people are sir because of the vast number of males we have. But don't be put off if you are female. We respect your opinion. It's all about ideas, not about identity or gender, as we try and prove in 2020, although some people won't have that, will they? Bielsa won't change too much next season. The team spirit built up over the past two seasons will be crucial to any kind of success for Leeds. I think he needs to bring in some people, though. Yes, we're getting all the birthday wishes here. Do you remember when that happened to Hulk Hogan on Twitter? Will you wish me and my mate a happy birthday? And he just retweeted all of them. Deary me. Phil McCracken. There we go. Shocking. That's me reading a name. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. Andrew says, starting to change my mind. R.E. Parker, and I think that we should build something under his style. If we don't go up, and I reckon we'll be automatic next season if we cut out silly losses. Yeah, I mean, I always say second year, don't I? And this will be a second year in the Championship, second full year. So maybe right. How much do I think Buendia is worth? Well, Norwich are valuing players at the moment, valuing Ben Godfrey at 50 million. So they'll probably have him valued at about 220 million. Buendia looks like he wants to go, doesn't he? He may go back to Spain. I suspect, being he's created so many chances in the Prem, that you'd be looking at 25 to 35 million, somewhere around there, although transfer market's ridiculous, isn't it? Let's have a look. Will Monk walk? There are only three things certain in life, aren't they? Death, taxes, and Gary Monk quitting a championship job at the end of every season, probably. Bamford missed 33 big chances. Oh my God, this season. Bless him. And I love Pat Bamford, but 33 is too many, isn't it? Eli says, I agree with you, Ben. If we stay up with a few additions, I reckon we could be a very good side. You could. That was Max's super chat, which I believe I already read out, didn't I? But thank you again, Max. If Ipswich qualify for the Champions League in 3 seasons, will I shave my head? Why would you want me to shave my head? Why would you not want me to have long hair? No, I won't. But wouldn't that be great? Champions League. Ben, I think you should get natty dreads. They would suit you, blood. Yeah. Do I need a hug? Are you talking to me, David, or someone in the chat? Yeah, everybody needs a hug. Don't it? It's nice to have a hug. But Ben Smith paid 16 million for Konza for us. Yeah, he did you a favour with that one. That was expensive, wasn't it? Where did Mepham go? They went to Bournemouth, didn't he? That's Brentford tax, though, isn't it? It's not Dean Smith's fault, isn't it? Where do I think the Cowley brothers will go? I'm sorry, my eyes streaming again. Somewhere in the Championship. They'll hold out for one of those jobs. They'll probably canvass for them, won't they? Can I believe it's 8 and it's so bright outside? Is it 8? I'll get off the stream in just a hot minute. It's lovely, lovely outside. There we go. Barnsley would storm League One playing like that. I wouldn't worry too much. I agree with that. Favourite film? Oh dear. Tricky. Let me think about that, man. The Chris Cornell of football analysis. Do you remember when Chris Cornell and all of Rage Against the Machine made what was that band called? Audio Slave. Take it out on me. That's a great song. Why didn't that band work, eh? The best singer of grunge with all the best musicians. What's your hamster called, Jaggy? Birthday shout-outs, do with me. Right. I think Nidan says, because I'm jealous, my long lots disappeared with vinyl records and my Marillion t-shirt. I once saw Marillion support Roger Hodgson of Supertramp in a school grounds just outside of Ipswich. There we go. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you for all the super chats. I'm going to disappear, as everyone said, it's lovely and bright, with my missus and her cousin into the garden and drink the rest of this Sierra Grande Pinot Noir, which is very, very nice. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Tomorrow, we will do the preview, and also tomorrow, look out for it. I will do my team of the season, but if any of you, because you're smart in the comments here, if any of you put, where's so-and-so, and don't put your own 11, you're in trouble. It's the most frustrating thing in the world that you bust your ass for ages on a team that's subjective and someone immediately puts, where's so-and-so? There you go. So, yeah, I look forward to that and my incredible rant that I'll no doubt have in the video. But there we go. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Still 200 people in the chat. Hit the thumbs up button, and support the channel by commenting, liking, subscribing. Need to change that to say 10,000 now, don't we? And you can support on Patreon as well. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Let's read Nidown's comment because it's a nice, fun one. Have a splendid evening. Everybody should have a splendid evening. Right, see you tomorrow for the Gameweek 46 preview. That's going to take some maths to work that one out, isn't it? Over and out.